And welcome. We'd like to welcome all of our visitors, all of our guests, all of our parents, all of our students, all of our staff, and any of you that are joining us with our Zoom. We appreciate you being there as well. Board members, thank you. We have a full board tonight. Our attorney is joining us by phone. You can hear us, Ms. Allison? Ms. Allison?
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we appreciate everyone that was able to be here tonight. Thank you, technology, for making sure everything is working, and this recognition, thank you. Thank you for getting everything prepared. This evening's meeting will be following the order of the agenda. So as I welcome you, I invite you to stand for our invocation, followed by our pledge. Father God, we thank you that your word in Psalm 19 and 14 reminds us that the words of our mouth and the meditation of our heart can be acceptable unto you, our rock and our redeemer. Father, that is our prayer this evening. We thank you for the opportunity to be here to serve the children of Colleton County. Father, we thank you for your wisdom, your patience, and your guidance. And most of all, Father, we thank you for the joy that gives us the strength to do what you need us to do for the children. And we pray now, as you taught us to pray, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed it be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. This evening, we're honored to have students from Thunderbolt Career and Technology Center as well as Blackstreet Early Childhood Center. So we welcome them to the mic. We thank you for being our greeters. Those smiling faces always welcome us to our meeting. And it's all about the kids, and the time is now, right, Superintendent Williams? We welcome you to come forward to the mic and read our mission statement and tell us about your organization.
Go ahead. Colleton County School District will prepare every student to graduate with a 21st century education to be globally competitive for their chosen college and or career path. Yeah, that's what we do. And what else? A part of our class and what we do in collaborating with Blackstreet is we go over to the center, and either we have a kindergarten class or pre-K class, and we just go and assist the teachers in their everyday classroom activities. We help with the kids. We give them more of like a sense of like safety and security, like they don't have to feel alone in whatever we do. We help them in their activities, and we just kind of be a part of the classroom and entertain the children as well as the teachers. And we go and we create activities and everything else. So, yeah, that's what we do.
The one thing about this whole program that it's a great learning opportunity being inside classrooms, because we get to launch and learn as the teachers go through the lessons or all the courses. It gives us like a moment just to see how everything works, because it's very different from being like the teacher's perspective than the student's POV. And it really helps us just figure out what is appropriate, what's not appropriate, just to help us know how it is to be in that teaching position.
It's nice to be able to help our teachers and assist them in the classrooms, especially, just kind of helping to guide the students and, help them learn, help them get along with each other, And it's nice to learn from that perspective, especially being in high school and the end of our education for some of us. So it's very nice to get that perspective on it at that time.
Right. Our little people are just going to tell you their names and say hi.
My name is Skylar. My name is Vitai. Eva Mardell. My name's Elia Marie Pinkney. My name is Albertina Joy Flores Smith.
We'd like to say thank you to our students from TCTC that helped with our early childhood students at Black Street. And when we had open house, we enjoyed visiting your classroom. My grandchildren didn't want to leave. They loved that early childhood classroom at TCTC where I taught math. It's a sweet little room. So thank y'all. Are any of their parents here representing our greeters tonight? Please stand so we can recognize you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We enjoy having them at our meeting to kick it off. Thank you, students. We're moving on. Board members, before you, you see our civility pledge, and we will recite that together. Now, I pledge to build a stronger and more effective school board by advocating for civil engagement, respecting others and their viewpoints, and finding solutions for the betterment of my school district. Thank you, board members. Moving on, our agenda, we see the agenda prepared before us. You've also seen it in email, and it was posted for the public. Please look over, and if there's anything we need to change or add, let me know. If not, I'll entertain a motion that we approve the agenda.
Madam Chair, I move we accept the agenda as printed.
A second.
Thank you. There's a motion and a second. Any discussion about the agenda? Hearing none, all those with right hand show favor for the agenda. And likewise, it was unanimous, none opposed. Thank you. Looking through our chairman's report, we have in our packet to review in our email minutes for October 21st, October 28th, as well as special meetings that we had on November 11th and November 12th. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion that we approve those minutes.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented October 21st, October 28th, special call board meeting November the 11th, along with the capital projects work session, and the committee of the whole meeting November the 12th.
Second.
Board members, you hear the motion and the second. Is there any discussion or corrections to any of those minutes that Ms. Hyman prepared for us? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving those minutes for our records, please show your right hand. Unanimous. Board members, please be reminded that there will be a meeting that some of you are attending as our delegates, and we appreciate Mr. Cunningham and Mr. Nixon will be attending in Charleston on December the 6th and the 7th. Is there anything we need to know about that meeting at this point, or you all bring back a report in our December meeting? Thank you. We look forward to that and know that you will represent us well, and we'll hear that report at our next meeting, December the 8th. Moving along, board members, Ms. Hyman has registered us for our annual conference, which is February 19th through 22nd. If you need to make any arrangements for early arrival or late arrival or leaving early, let her know so we can get all those logistics worked out. Okay? Moving on now, we're to section 3, which we always enjoy. Superintendent Williams bringing us student and staff recognition, because we know that every member of Team Colleton contributes and works for kids. And we thank you because you're helping them become a world-class school system. That's one of our core values. So all of you are appreciated.
Thank you, Chair Strobel. And I'd like to say good afternoon to all of our board members and good afternoon to our audience, our district leaders, our school leaders, our community members, everyone. Thank you so much for being here tonight. As Chair Strobel stated, this is one of our most favorite parts of our school board meetings where we recognize our students and our staff for going above and beyond at their schools. So tonight we have a plethora of staff members that we would like to recognize and students. So when I call your name, I'd like for you to come up to the front and I'm going to recognize your principal, if your principal is here, because they nominated you and wrote a very nice message concerning you that I'm going to read, okay? So we're going to start with Blackstreet Early Childhood Center, and the first person that I'd like to call up is Miss Talia Washington. Come up, Miss Talia. Let's give her a hand. And I know Principal Pearson is here. If you would just wave your hand, Principal Pearson. This is what she submitted about you, Miss Talia. Talia is the Positive Behavior Support Specialist, and she is owl amazing. So amazing. She's owl amazing. She is always willing to help out, loves our students, and is a positive role model for students and adults in our building. She is calm, thoughtful, and always thinking of ways to make our school a better place. She goes out of her way to take care of others and notices when they need a little pick-me-up. Blackstreet wouldn't be the same without her, and we are so glad she chose to be an owl. Congratulations again, Miss Washington. I know we're recognizing our adults, but if we have any parents, because I know that Talia's mom works with our school district, any parents of our staff members, if you're here, please stand to be recognized. Parents, family members, if you're here, please stand. Okay. All right. We're going to move on to Bells Elementary School, and we are recognizing Miss Phyllis Murdaugh. Is Miss Murdaugh with us tonight?
There she is.
And she's being accompanied by her principal, Miss Ferguson. And Miss Murdaugh, we want to congratulate you as well for being above and beyond staff member. And I'm going to read what Miss Ferguson submitted about you. Mrs. Murdaugh goes above and beyond for the staff and students at Bells Elementary School. She is concerned about the well-being of others and takes on additional responsibilities to ensure that everyone is taken care of. She loves her students and treats them as if they were her own. She pushes them to do better each day and encourages them to excel at high levels. We appreciate all that she does to make our school a great place to learn and grow. So let's give Miss Phyllis Murdaugh another round of applause. And I know that Miss Murdaugh has a relative here, and we're going to ask her relative to stand at this time. Mr. Charles Murdaugh. All right, we're going to move on to Cottageville Elementary School, and actually we're recognizing two staff members from Cottageville because they work together on this particular initiative. So I'm going to call them both to come up. Mr. Drew McNeely, the PE teacher at Cottageville, and also Ms. Donna Waddell from Cottageville. And is Mrs. Allen, are you in the audience? Ms. Allen? Okay, she's not here tonight. But Mr. McNeely and Nurse Waddell, they have begun something called a bike restoration project in order to provide students who do not have a bicycle or they have outgrown their bike a chance to have one. So Mr. McNeely orchestrated an essay contest for the students to explain why they wanted a particular bike. This helps with writing skills, literacy skills. Mr. McNeely also planned our Bike to School Day with the assistance of Nurse Waddell. Keeping our students engaged in healthy activities is always a top priority for Coach McNeely. And then Nurse Waddell assisted Mr. McNeely in planning and the successful Bike to School Day. She worked very closely with Coach McNeely to ensure that all students were safe, had access to their medications if needed, and assisted with following our students the entire Bike to School ride from Jericho United Methodist Church to Cottageville Elementary School. Nurse Waddell goes above and beyond in supporting our staff and Cottageville's Soaring Eagle. So let's give Mr. Drew. And if Mr. McNeely or Nurse Waddell have family members here, if you would please stand at this time. Okay. All right, we're going to move on to Hendersonville Elementary School. Is Miss Crystal Adis here? Crystal? Ms. Crystal is a fourth grade teacher at Hendersonville Elementary School, and I do see Mrs. Anabanet here.
Edwards is here.
Ms. Edwards, there she is. If you would raise your hand, please, Ms. Edwards. Thank you for being here with us as well. But this is what Mrs. Edwards wrote about you, Miss Atis. Is that correct? Addis, Miss Addis. All right. Miss Crystal Addis is one of our most dedicated and hardworking teachers at Hendersonville Elementary School. As a second-year, fourth grade math and science teacher, she has forged great relationships with her students. She ensures that her students are engaged in lessons by planning and creating hands-on math and science activities that keep her students motivated and excited during the learning process. She has been a great support for our new team of international teachers. She is a caring teacher and an amazing all-around person. Mrs. Addis is most definitely a teacher that has gone above and beyond. Let's give Ms. Addis another round of applause. And if Ms. Addis has any family members here, if you would please stand. Okay. All right, we're going to move now to Northside Elementary School, and I know that Ms. Behe could not be with us tonight, but Ms. Behe has nominated Miss Melissa West, her school nurse. If you would come up, Miss West. Let's give her a round of applause. So, Ms. West, this is what Mrs. Behe wrote about you. Nurse West embodies compassion, dedication, and excellence in every aspect of her work. Each day, she goes far beyond the traditional responsibilities of healthcare, serving as a caregiver, listener, educator, and steady source of comfort for students and staff alike. She not only provides exceptional medical care, but also takes the time to truly know our students, understanding their needs, calming their fears, and ensuring every child feels safe and cared for, whether managing their daily medications or responding calmly to emergencies. Nurse West doesn't just care for our students, she cares about them. That's what makes her extraordinary and why she continues to go above and beyond every single day. Congratulations, Nurse West. All right, now from Colleton, are there any family members of Miss West that are here? In the back. Thank you for being here. All right, now from Colleton County Middle School, school nurse Amanda Frank. Is she with us tonight? Okay, she's not here. All right, we're gonna go to Colleton County High School, Mr. Isaac Aguina. So Mr. Aguina has his fan club back there, and we want to congratulate him for coming up and being chosen as the above and beyond staff. So Mrs. Bodison, I know she was going to be here. Oh, there she is. Ms. Bodison is here, nominated you for this award. She kept it nice and sweet and short, but we know that you do a lot for the school. So Mr. Aguina is always in the halls during transitions and is very helpful in monitoring the behavior of his hallway. Mr. Aguina, I know, is also a part of the robotics club. He's a part of the math team, and he always has a smile on his face no matter what. So Mr. Aguina, thank you for all that you do, not only for Colleton County High School, but for the Colleton County School District. So let's give Mr. Aguina a round of applause. And if we have any family members of Mr. Aguina here, if you would please raise your hand or stand. There you go. All right, now we're going to move to Thunderbolt Career and Technology Center. We are recognizing, and I know I saw her here smiling, Miss Karen Jenkins, the Positive Behavior Support Specialist. Miss Karen Jenkins. Oh, Mr. Kubik, are you here? There you go. There's Mr. Kubik. All right. So this is what Mr. Kubik wrote about you, Miss Jenkins. So besides monitoring our students at TCTC, Mrs. Jenkins has made herself available for numerous trips as a bus driver recently. She has sacrificed a lot of personal time to ensure our students had a driver and that they were able to attend events to further prepare their career readiness. So thank you, Miss Karen Jenkins, and I know she's had a lot going on right now, but you're still standing, and we're just so happy to have you as a part of Team Colleton. So let's give Ms. Karen Jenkins another round of applause. And if you have any family members that are here, okay, some in the back waving their hands. Thank you all for supporting. All right, now we're going to move to, and this is our last staff recognition for tonight. Then we're going to move to our students. Colleton Adult Learning Center, Miss Ginger Armentrout. She's here. Give her a round of applause. And she was nominated by Director Horvath. Mr. Horvath, if you would raise your hand in the back. Thank you for being here tonight. Miss Ginger, this is what Mr. Horvath wrote about you. So Mrs. Armentrout is the administrative leader that holds our program together. Ginger works daily to connect all parts of the adult education family. Mrs. Armentrout goes above and beyond the normal workday of facilitating 3 Saturday GED testing sessions, 3 evening GED testing sessions, and additional professional development seminars for 11 counties to include the region's first quarter data meeting, 2 Level Up seminars, and the College and Career Navigator PD. Mrs. Armentrout adjusts her work schedule to ensure there is no additional cost to the program and district for her services. So thank you so much, Ms. Armentrout. Let's give her. Family members are here of Ms. Armentrout. If you would stand at this time, please. Okay. All right. So again, I want to thank you for all that you do. We can't say thank you enough. We want to get a picture with you, Dr. Jenkins and I, and then we're going to ask that you go up and shake our board members' hands. All right.
We appreciate you. Thank you, Ms. Murdoch, for all you do. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Waddell. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So nice to see you again. Thank you, nurse. We appreciate you.
I'm so proud of you. You were my nurse first.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Nice to meet you, and thank you for all you do. Mr. Gino, we appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for taking care of my Sam.
Absolutely. It's amazing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate
If not, Mr. Cunningham will make sure you do.
I read the letter you sent her. She was so proud. Thank you. Always wonderful.
Thank you for all you do. Thank you.
That's your grandson?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's taller than you.
All right. Thank you again to our staff members. And if you all would please, as they're exiting or sitting back in the audience, please give them another round of applause. So I want to say, I know that this part of our agenda takes a little time, but it's worth the time because it's all about our students and our staff. So the next part of our recognition is going to recognize our students for their hard work and dedication. And I'm going to start with Blackstreet Early Childhood Center. And if Albertina Schmitz is here, kindergarten student, if you would please come up. So as Albertina is coming up with her father, is that correct? Father, we're going to read a little about Miss Albertina that Miss Pearson submitted on her behalf. So Albertina is a model student. She always follows the rules, pays attention, and excels academically. She is faithful in assisting her table mates or anyone in class that needs help. She is a wonderful student. We are so proud of her. From Mrs. Davis, her kindergarten teacher. Let's give Albertina a round of applause. And I know that her dad is here, but it's her mom or any other relatives. If you would like to stand and be recognized. All right. From Bells Elementary School, we are recognizing Dayana Mendez, 4th grade student at Bells. Okay, not here tonight. All right, we're going to go to Cottageville Elementary. Armani Floyd. Armani Floyd. Okay, not here tonight. All right, we're moving on to Forest Hills Elementary School. Catherine Lyons. Catherine Lyons. All right, not here tonight. All right, we're going to move on to Northside Elementary School. Trevor King. Trevor King. Trevor's here. Trevor's here along with his mom. And Trevor is a 4th grade student at Northside Elementary School, and I am going to read what was submitted by Principal Behe on your behalf. Trevor King exemplifies excellence in both behavior and academics. His respectful conduct and strong work ethic are reflected in his outstanding class performance and his success in all that he undertakes. Trevor is always willing to lend a helping hand, whether supporting classmates during lessons or assisting others throughout the school day. He is truly deserving of this recognition. Let's give Trevor King another round of applause. And Trevor, I know your mom is here. Is Dad here or other family members that would like to stand and be recognized? All right. Oh, Forest Hills, she's here. Okay. All right, Miss Catherine Lyons. All right, let's give Catherine a round of applause. All right, so Catherine, I'm going to read what Principal Guarino submitted on your behalf. Is Mr. Guarino here? Okay, he's not here tonight. So Catherine Lyons is a 4th grade student at Forest Hills, and she is an exceptional student and outstanding leader at Forest Hills Elementary. She consistently demonstrates academic excellence, earning straight A's, and maintaining placement on the superintendent's list. Catherine is one of the newest members of the Student Council, and she has already shown great leadership and enthusiasm in representing her peers. For these reasons and many, many more, we proudly nominate Catherine Lyons for Superintendent Student of the Month. She is a shining example of what it means to be a possum cougar cub. Let's hear it again for Catherine Lyons. And I think she has a fan club. We're going to ask her family members to stand if you're here tonight. Oh, she does. That is so special when your parents and family members are here to support you. That's really special. All right, so now we're going to move to Colleton County Middle School. Is Kamari Bryant here? Kamari Bryant? Yes, there she is. So Kamari, congratulations for being nominated. Kamari is an 8th grade student, and Kamari, I'm going to read what Principal Peoples submitted on your behalf. Principal Peoples, is he here? Okay, don't see him. All right, Kamari consistently goes above and beyond expectations. A true go-getter, she approaches every challenge with enthusiasm and determination. Her positive attitude and encouragement inspire those around her, making her a shining example of excellence and leadership. Her dedication, her compassion, and her drive set her apart as an exceptional student and role model. So congratulations again to Kamari Bryant. Let's give her a round of applause. And we see that Kamari has a fan club as well, so if family members, if you would please stand for Kamari. Awesome, awesome. All right, now we're going to move to Colleton County High School. Miss Brianna Elbert. Brianna Elbert. Okay, she's not with us tonight. All right, we're going to move to TCTC, Jaden Randolph. Jaden Randolph. Okay, he's not here. All right. Our last recognition is a very special recognition. This student actually passed away and was funeralized not last Saturday, but Saturday before last. And that student's name was Jermaine Holmes. Jermaine was a student at Hendersonville Elementary School, and his principal wanted this to be known and read about Jermaine, and we're going to ask her and Ms. Anabinet to come up and receive his award on his family's behalf. But Jermaine Holmes was a remarkable third grader whose bright smile and curious mind touched everyone around him. He was a participant in SPICE and robotics. He loved to learn, to explore, and to share his understanding with others, always eager to show that he was paying attention and truly cared. Mrs. Robinson fondly described him as the king of his class, the king of character, the king of stewardship, and the king of diplomacy, a title he earned through his leadership and gentle spirit. He enjoyed helping his teacher and classmates. His hard work and determination were demonstrated through his growth in iReady and class assignments. Jermaine's legacy of compassion, curiosity, and courage will never be forgotten. And if you would, I'd just like to have just a moment of silence, not only for Jermaine, but also his brother that attended Colleton County High School, Jaden. Did I say that? Miss Bodison? Miss Bodison, the 11th grade student? Jordan. If we could just have a brief moment of silence for Jordan and Jermaine. Thank you. And I would just like to say on Jordan and Jermaine's behalf, it was very sad in our community and in our schools. I actually visited both schools, talked to teachers, talked to students, and I know that Jermaine had stood up that very same day and gave his class advice. And that was just very touching to the entire Hendersonville community and also Jordan at Colleton County High School. So let's live our lives like it's our last day, because we never know. And we just want to thank God for the lives of Jermaine and Jordan. All right, so that concludes our student recognition, and I would like to ask that we take a picture together, and then if you would, go and shake our board members' hands. Right down the street.
Thank you for representing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for recognizing.
Hey, can I give you a high five? Oh, baby. Yes. Congratulations. Nice job.
It's precious.
How's Nathan?
Good. Thank you for being here.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So nice to meet you. Congratulations. Thank you for bringing
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
You look like high school
Thanks for
student.
representing.
Girl, you keep coming back. Coming back. Keep coming back. Thank you.
All right, I would like to say congratulations again to our students, and Chair Strobel, that ends student staff recognition for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Williams, and thank you, principals and staff, and all the recognition for our wonderful students and staff. It was very delightful. As we move along our agenda, our next item of business is public comment. We welcome our public to give us comment, and tonight we have 6. Each of you get 3 minutes. Ms. Hyman will be keeping the time, and I will call them up in the order that they were received by her. So at this time, I would ask Secretary Whitkin if she would read a statement, and then I'll call each of the 6 folks that have filled out our form for public comment.
Thank you, Ms. Strobel. The board welcomes the opportunity for you to share information concerning the district. Please be sure that there's nothing in the law or anyone here that prevents you from saying anything that you wish. Please try to refrain from commenting on any pending student or employee discipline or grievance matter. What you say will become public information, which is subject to the Freedom of Information Act laws. If you choose to call specific employee names, we suggest that you do not. It is the board chairman's duty to inform you that you could also be subject to defamation laws according to your statements. Please present comments without using offensive language or making comments in a disrespectful manner. School district policy, as mentioned before, allows you for 3 minutes, and Ms. Hyman, to my left, will let you know when you may begin and when you are to end. Board members, just so you know, and the superintendent are not required to respond to your comments unless they choose. And just so you know, we're here to listen. I thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Whitkin. And at this time, the first public comment form that was received, we invite Matthew Johnson to the mic, and we welcome your comments. And if you want to be ready, the person after him, the next one received was Jenna Jones. Good evening. Mr. Johnson, just a second. We'll check your mic to make sure we can hear and everyone listening.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you. Much better.
My name is Matthew Johnson. My son plays on the JV football team. I just wanted to say a couple words for Coach Kinlock. for one, I don't understand why the man was dismissed. It's not right. And you asked him to do a job, but you didn't give him time to do it. You know, you said it starts with children. At the beginning, you said it started with children. Well, evidently it doesn't. Because not one of them kids back there did you go and ask what their opinion was before you let the man go. They have a right, and you took it away from them. Every last one of them kids back there will graduate. Does that not mean anything? They deserve to be heard. Reinstate Coach Kinloch. If you want a winning program, reinstate the man. He deserves a chance. 3 years is not enough. If you want to hold blame, look elsewhere. Don't look at Coach Kinloch or his coaching staff. Coach Rowe, Coach Edwards, Coach Gerardo, Coach Brown. That's the best coaching staff you can ask for. They're not only coaches, they're mentors. And if you want to shade blame, how about the condition of the field? That we got the worst field by far in the state. I see some of you there at the games. They make golfing dividends. It's dangerous to even practice on the field. The kicker, he can't even get a kickoff without slipping and falling. The linemen, they can't make a cut. We got running backs getting hurt because they try going to make a cut, and they're pulling a muscle.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson, for your comments. We really appreciate you coming forward and giving us your comments.
I
Thank
got a
you.
lot more to say.
Thank you. Ms. Jenna Jones, welcome you to the mic. And following her will be Chase Jones.
How are y'all? Before my time starts, is it allowed that they stand behind me while I talk? I feel like we do this as a family. I would like the family to be together.
There's only one public. It's on the form. What does that say?
It's your time. I mean, you're already up, so go ahead, whatever you need to do.
Okay, if y'all want to stand behind me, you can.
You're already timing, right?
The qualifications and responsibilities listed on the Colleton County School District's own website are clear. Demonstrate proven leadership, character development, academic accountability, and competitive success. Foster academic achievement and personal growth among student athletes, and engage positively with parents, faculty, and the community to build a strong support network. Promote a culture of excellence, accountability, and sportsmanship on and off the field. Yet reading this job description, one can't help but notice what seems conspicuously missing, that none of these qualities matter if the scoreboard does not show a winning season, because that's exactly how this decision feels. Coach Kinloch is more than a coach to these young men, and he's woven into the fabric of their daily lives, a steady presence they trust and depend on. Most of these players, he's the only coach they've ever known, and throughout his 3-year tenure, instead of receiving support and mentorship from district leadership, he's faced continuous scrutiny and pressure to prove himself at every turn. Imagine being expected to lead a program while simultaneously fighting quiet battles for your job from the very people who should be supporting you, while also constantly defending yourself against baseless accusations that undermine your integrity and distract from the work you were hired to do. Most people would crumble under that weight, but not Coach Kinloch. Instead, he poured himself into the kids and the community. He built a family. He opened his wallet and his heart. He's tutored the boys, bought them clothes, bought them groceries for their families, and held them to a higher standard of character and discipline. The boys responded to that dedication. They pushed themselves physically, academically, and emotionally for him. They lifted harder, trained harder, behaved better, and supported one another because their coach believed in them. This team, most of them, have been together since they were 8 years old. They're not a roster, they are a family. And now, because adults made decisions based on a scoreboard rather than long-term development, these boys are left trying to pick up the pieces. Replacing the coaches in the past hasn't worked. Rotating leadership hasn't worked. The team only declined after every new start. Coach Kinloch's impact is measurable where it matters most. He solved interpersonal conflicts, including gang-related tensions that spilled onto the field, prioritized academics, implementing tutoring and structure when players were failing in years prior. He's achieved a 100% graduation rate among football players this year for the first time in many years, drastically reduced unsportsmanlike conduct and on-field fights this season, and he built a culture of discipline, respect, and teamwork that you cannot create overnight. Winning games is an outcome that comes after the culture, academics, and discipline, not before. As someone who rearranges their work schedule to attend every practice and every game, I can say without hesitation that these boys have immeasurably, under his leadership, grown without a doubt. You're not simply removing their coach, you're removing their foundation that their success is built on. You're attempting to hand another coach the credit for the groundwork that Coach Kinloch laid. And you're dismissing the voices of parents, teachers, and community members who have witnessed his impact firsthand. Do any members on this board have children on the team? Do you attend practices? Do you attend every game before decisions are made based on performance? How can decisions be made about a program you are not truly invested in? As a tax-paying citizen, a donor, a volunteer, and the people who stand on ground,
Thank you,
please
Ms.
reinstate
Jones.
Coach Kinloch.
Thank you, Ms. Jones, for your comments. Thank you, boys. Thank you. Chase Jones, welcome.
My name is Chase Jones. I'm a student athlete at Carlton County High School. Thank y'all for allowing me to speak tonight. I just would like to share what Coach Kinloch means to me personally. From someone who has played for him, learned from him, and grown under his leadership for the past 3 years, he's the only head coach I've ever had that I've truly connected with. Every season, he pushed me not just to be better on the football field, but to be better as a person and a better teammate. Under his leadership, I've earned all region honors for football. I've competed for having the highest GPA on the team. And because of him, I've understood that academic and discipline comes first before the football field. When I'm out there with my brothers and Coach Kinloch, I'm the best version of myself. He's built more than a team. He built a family with us. And losing him feels like losing the foundation beneath us. I'm going to be honest. Every time someone brings up the possibility of him getting fired, I get emotional. I try not to talk about it because I don't want to picture my senior year without him. I don't want to walk into my last season with uncertainty and sadness when this year was supposed to be the year everything came together. For 3 years, we worked to build something with him, something real. He made sure we stayed on top of our schoolwork. He held us accountable, and he believed in us before we believed in ourselves. You can't replace that. A new coach can't walk in and recreate what we built with him. A new coach can't replace the bond, the trust, the loyalty, or the lessons he's taught us. It isn't just about football. This is the man who helped shape the young men sitting in our locker room today, the man who showed us what leadership looked like, and the man who pushed us to be students first, athletes second, and men always. Coach Kinloch deserves to finish what he started. He deserves a chance to lead us into the future he helped build. And we deserve to have the coach who has done right by us every single day back on the field. So tonight I'm asking you, not as a kid who plays football, not as a number as a roster, but as someone whose life has changed for better by this coach, please reinstate Coach Kinloch.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. And next we have Ronald Robinson.
How y'all doing today? My name is Ronald Robinson. I'm a senior on the Carlton County High School football team. I'm graduating this year. I want to speak about Coach Kinloch and the impact he had on me and my teammates. For the past 3 years, he's been more than just our coach. He's been our mentor, our supporter, and the person who had us together when things got tough. Coach Kinloch was the first one to give us real stability and real direction. Taking him away now will undo everything we built. I may be leaving soon, but I care a lot about this football team, and I'm asking you from the heart, reinstate Coach Kinloch. Not for me, but for the players coming behind me who deserve the same leadership, guidance, and support that he gave to us.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson. And next we have Nicholas Jones.
Good afternoon, board members. I would like to start this off by saying the firing of Coach Kinlock is absolutely unfair. Coach Kinlock has completely flipped the trajectory of Carleton County football. He took a team that once struggled with gang-related violence, a team that had bad chemistry on the field because of unrelated events, a team that was not physically nor mentally strong, and finally a team that was not a team at all, and completely changed that. He built a family and community for us. He turned this group of kids into a team of men. He made us the strongest versions of ourselves mentally and physically. He came here to set a good foundation for this team, and he did just that. He was put in a very tough situation, as stated, but not once did he lose hope, not once did he give up. He believed in us and trusted the process. He changed Carleton for the better in ways that reading a piece of paper will not show you. I understand our record was not the best, but it's hard to take a team that won't even talk to each other and expect them to play good. But he changed that so he could make a good foundation to turn this program around. He just needed more time. To add to this, he changed my life too. He took me from a boy that once only dreamed to be an elite specialist and gave me the opportunity to develop into a man that is now ranked #2 in the state for specialists. Without his encouragement, emphasis on special teams, and unwavering faith for not only me but this team, that would not have happened. Coach Kinlock is an amazing coach and an even better person. He set the foundation for Carleton. He did his job. And this community, this family, this team owes it all to him. And I believe that he should be given the opportunity to build on the foundation he set for us. Thank you, Coach Kinlock.
Thank you, Mr. Jones, and we welcome Calvin Brown.
How y'all doing? All right. I'm just here to say that a lot of times that a lot of the school boards or people don't be on the sidelines and stuff to sit here and see what's going on, what players saying, what coach is saying. But Coach Kinlock take care of these kids. Only time he get out of hand is if somebody say something to these kids that is out of line. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel my child's protected with him. And for y'all to sit there and say that he get out of line sometimes, you have to be on the sideline to hear the chit chat what's going on, or hear what the coaches got going on, or hear what the coaches cussing our kids and this, that, the third. It's sometimes you have to sit back and see what's going on. And I love him for that. And for y'all to sit here and fire him, I don't think that was a good deal, because he loved these kids. He'll sit here and he'll call and he'll be like, well, you know, we do stuff in a parent group. He'd be like, well, this kid needs some shoes, or this kid need that. Who got a size this? Who got a size pants? This is because he don't come to the district to sit here and say, okay, if a child don't have, he'll come within our family group and say, okay, it's a child that needs shoes. It's a child that needs clothes. It's a child that needs paper. A child needs pencils. You see what I'm saying? It's like he's more than a coach. He look out for these kids. It's more like parenthood, and these kids love him. And like I said, I mean, I feel for these kids because I think he should finish what he started.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Does anyone else have a public comment form that I didn't receive? Ms. Hyman?
It's not,
I just wanted to say something.
You have to have a form filled out. I'm sorry, but
And I know, but we cover the schools, and I do apologize, but I have kids that attend Carleton County High School, and they participate in sports. My son is on the wrestling team.
You have to have a form filled out, okay? We have to follow procedure.
And I understand, but y'all not going to allow the floor to open
Thank
for it.
you. Thank you.
I'll wait for the next one.
This needs to end.
Thank you.
Be
Thank you.
calm,
The 6 of you that filled out your form, we appreciate you bringing us your comments. And if there are any others, I'll receive the forms. Ms. Hyman? Were there any other forms? Okay, thank you. That ends our section for public comment. Thank you for being here with us. And we'll move on our agenda to item number 5. Is there any old business that comes before the board? Hearing none, is there any new business that comes before the board tonight? Thank you. Moving forward to item number 7. We don't have any policy items that require first reading, but we do have some policy items for second reading. Board members, you noticed in your email that we have policy DJE, where we've already reviewed before the policy committee, and a first reading for purchasing. And we also have policy KBE for relations with parent organizations. We've had those for review, and they're ready for second reading, which would put them in our board policy book. So I'll entertain a motion for one of those or both of those, however the board would like to vote.
Madam Chair, if there's no objection from anyone else on the board, I make a motion that we approve policy DJE purchasing and policy KBE relations with parent organizations for second reading.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. I want to thank those of you that are leaving so orderly. Thank you, so we can continue the work of the board. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of second reading for policy DJE purchasing and policy KBE relations with parent organization so that they can be put into our policy manual, please show your right hand for being in favor of those policies, and it's unanimous. Thank you. Ms. Hyman, you can put those where we can review when we need them. We're now on section 9, superintendent's report. Effective leadership supports learning and optimal performance for all students. Superintendent Williams, we welcome your report. We'll have item 9.01, the superintendent's report, and board members, as she's preparing, we have action for an overnight field trip and 3 other items under her report, to include our HR report, the finance report, and we will take action on procurement review panel in section 9. Welcome, Superintendent Williams.
Thank you, Chair Strobel, and I'd like to say good afternoon again, board members, and again to the public, to our school leaders, district leaders. My report tonight has a lot of good information, and I really would like for you to see, this is not mine. Oh, here we go. Okay. So I have a plethora of good information to share with you tonight, and I'm going to start with our Cognia mid-cycle progress report. As many of you are aware, school districts are accredited through Cognia, which is the official state-approved accreditation agency. So school districts go through the accreditation every 5 to 6 years. Colleton County School District just went through the mid-cycle progress report, and we had to report on several of the standards that are required through Cognia. We went through that process and we received a favorable report that says, and I'll read the slide, it says Colleton County School District continues to demonstrate strong implementation of data-driven, learner-centered professional learning that supports both educator and student growth. Through ongoing collaboration, targeted professional development, and reflective evaluation, the district is steadily advancing toward full embeddedness where professional learning is systemic, sustainable, and an integral part to achieving the district's mission of excellence for every learner. So our letter that we received says that we have continued accreditation status with no further actions. And I want to thank Dr. Jenkins. I want to thank Mrs. Hedden. I want to thank Mrs. Bozeman. I want to thank Mrs. Duffy. And I want to thank Mrs. Johnson. And did I leave anyone out? I want to thank this group of ladies and awesome administrators for putting together that report. It was a lot of work, and they did it in a very short period of time. And I want to publicly thank you for all of the work. And I know it's hard work because when I served in the assistant superintendent capacity, it was under my direction, and I'm telling you, it's a lot of work. The mid-progress report isn't all-encompassing. You have to write on certain standards, but when you do the full accreditation report, it is hefty. So I am just very grateful that our district has gone through our mid-progress report. We will hear from Cognia, and they will let us know when the full progress report is due. So if you would please give our district and our academics team a round of applause for a job well done. Okay, now on the next few slides, I want to just again talk about the great things that are happening as far as academics are concerned in the Colleton County School District with our school report cards. So I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but I would just like to say that Colleton County School District is on the move. We last year had 3 schools that met the criteria of a South Carolina graduate as per the State Department of Education. This year, we have 6. We have steadily increased. Since 2022, we have increased. We have not been taken over by the state, which I know there were people who didn't think we could do it, but we did it. And I want to thank the team again, curriculum and instruction team, academics, our principals, our teachers, our students for doing what it took to get where we are now. So, yeah, that calls for a round of applause, wouldn't you think? So I just want to just go over briefly some of the components of the school report card. So there are 5 different ratings that schools can get. They can get excellent, good, average, below average, and unsatisfactory. Today, I had an interview with members of the Press and Standard team, and they said to me, they said, you know, I've heard that sometimes people think the word average is mediocre. And that is true, because average doesn't mean average mediocre. If you look at that chart, average means that your school performance meets the criteria to ensure all students meet the profile of the South Carolina graduate. So if you're average, that means you've met all of the criteria. If you are good, that means you have exceeded the expectations. If you are an excellent school, that means you have substantially exceeded expectations. I want to say that you have to crawl before you walk, and you have to walk before you run. And if we were in the state that we were in, we are steadily moving and increasing and doing what schools are all about, and that is teaching and learning. On the next slide, just wanted to let you know that the components of the report card include academics and the environment. So with academics, elementary and middle school indicators are a little different from high school indicators. So at the elementary level, they look at your academic achievement on the SC Ready ELA and math assessments. They also look at SC Alt, which is what our students with disabilities take. They look at preparing for success, which is the SC Ready science in grades 6 and 8. 4 and 6 only. And then they also look at the progress of our ML learners. And they also look at student progress overall from ELA and math in grades 4 through 8. So they look at how well our students did last year in those grade levels indicated there, and then they see how much growth they've made this year. And some of our schools have made tremendous growth. High school indicators include the same 3, the first 3 there, academic achievement, preparing for success, multilingual learner progress, but they also are graded on graduation rate, college and career readiness, and high school student success. So our high school students are tracked. They have to earn a certain amount of credits each year, and if they don't earn that, then we get points taken away. Also, as I said before, the environment is also utilized, and they look at school climate for elementary, middle, and high school. So school climate is measured through surveys that our students take, that our parents take, that our teachers take, that just give a good indication that our students feel safe at school, that the environment is welcoming, and that it is conducive to learning. There's other information under environment, but that information is for reporting purposes only. It is not used in the calculation of the ratings. There are certain points, there are a certain number of points that are assigned to the indicators, and if you can see there that elementary and middle school points are a little different from high school points. And I'm not going to go through all of those, but all right. On this particular slide, this just gives you an indication of how our schools have progressed over years, starting with 2019 up to 2025. And each one of those colors of lines represent a certain school. So if you look at, let's look at the blue line, that's Northside Elementary School. You can see in 2019, they had about 50 some odd points. And then over the years from 2020, 2021, 2022, they decreased in points. But as you can see in the year 2022, in 2023, they increased, and then they went down slightly in 2024, and 2025, they are coming back up again. So on another slide, I actually have the numbers for you as well. And then you can see the same thing with our secondary schools, with the middle school and the high school. All right, this particular slide just gives you the point ranges for each level. So elementary, middle, and high school have different point ranges. So let's just look at excellent for elementary schools. So in order to be an excellent school, you have to gain at least 61 points. For the middle school, you have to gain at least 56 points. And then for the high school, you must have at least 67 points. Okay, now this particular chart just gives you an overview of the ebbs and flows over the years. And if you look at this, you will see, and I'll start with Bells Elementary since they're at the top. In the year 2019, Bells Elementary was a below average school. And then in 2022, they went up to a good school. Then in 2023, they dropped a little and they went down to below average. So then you see in 2024 that color is yellow. That means that they gained points, but they just didn't gain enough to get up to that average rating. They were like tenths of a point away from that average rating in 2023. And then in 2024. And then in 2025, as you can see, they are all average. And if you look at that chart, all of our elementary schools now are average. They have all met the criteria set forth by the State Department of Education, which is phenomenal. On the next slide, you will see Colleton County Middle School. They are now an average school as well. They missed it by tenths of a point last year as well. And then Colleton County High School, they grew from an unsatisfactory in 2023 to below average in 2024, but they lost, I think, 1 point, and they went down to below average. Well, they stayed in that below average category, but I know that they are working very hard. They've put some strategies in place. Our State Department liaison has been working very closely with the school and will continue to do so as long as she is employed to be with our district. And I know that Colleton County High School is going to pull it up to an average rating very soon. Okay, so this is a rating history of the schools within our district, and as you can see, I'll just start with 2024, last year, which was the year we pulled it out because we were on the verge of being taken over by the state. In 2024, we had 3 average schools and 4 below average schools. 2025, we have 6 average schools and 1 below average school. Historic. Never in the history of our district. And there are no unsatisfactory schools. And guess what? We're not going back to unsatisfactory. Our schools know the right work to do. They know what to focus on, and they're moving forward. All right, so here's some noteworthy points. We have 6 schools average and have never had more than 3. Northside Elementary, they grew so much until they were 3.5 points away from a good rating. They increased 8 points from last year. Points are hard to come by, aren't they, Ms. Bozeman? They're very hard to come by. They increased 8 points, which is phenomenal. There were increases of 7 points by the middle school and 5 points by Bells Elementary and Cottageville Elementary. This is the slide that just talks again about the fact that we are not on the underperforming designation list anymore. Last year, we had 4 out of 7 schools with a below average rating, which equated to 57%. And now we only have 1. Therefore, the district will not receive an underperforming district designation. So that is a point of celebration as well. Now, the next few slides I'm not going to go through. We're going to save these slides, actually, for our celebration. I'm just going to go through it. You can look at it if you'd like. But we're going to have a celebration on December 16th. And this celebration is going to be in conjunction with our Circle of Excellence. So we'll have our Circle of Excellence where we congratulate and honor our students for their work on SC Ready assessments and EOC assessments, and also our SC School Report Card celebration where we will celebrate our staff. This celebration will be held at Colleton County High School in the Performing Arts Center. It will start at 5:30. We will have a reception that starts at 5, and the program will start at 5:30. And we are really looking forward to this celebration. I have been on the road. I have visited every school, and my last school to visit to congratulate is Forest Hills, and I go there on tomorrow to congratulate the staff for a job well done. So that ends my report for tonight, and I will be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Superintendent Williams, thank you for going around to the various schools and celebrating with them. I was able to pop in yesterday at Hendersonville, and the teachers really enjoyed celebrating that success with her and some of her staff, and some ice cream sandwiches and balloons. Very simple, but very thoughtful, and it was a wonderful opportunity for them to celebrate through the whole song of Celebrate.
And thank you, Chair Strobel, for being a part of that celebration.
Ms. Williams, I just want to say thank you to you and your staff for a job well done. I think y'all deserve a round of applause for all the hard work that y'all done.
I just want to say again, you know, it's a team effort. When I started in this position and I found out that we were on the verge of being taken over by the state, I said, no, we're not. And we came together. I formulated a turnaround team, and I know you've heard me talk about that before. We had a district level team, and we also had school level teams. And we met, and we collaborated, and we talked, and we developed 3 goals. And those goals surrounded academics. They surrounded stakeholder engagement, and also we looked at climate and culture. And each school had different strategies to reach their goals, and we collaborate with each other. We've had principal data meetings where we talk, and each school gets different ideas from other schools, and it has worked. And I'm just grateful for the staff for buying in to the vision of success, and I'm just grateful that we're moving upward.
Thank you.
Superintendent Williams, I think you have an overnight field trip for us to approve.
Yes, we have 2 overnight field trips. The first trip is for the Junior Beta Club State Conference, and that particular conference is located in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The trip sponsor is Angel Ferguson and Bonnie Hunt. There will be 9 students attending and 4 adults. And then the second overnight field trip is to the USS Yorktown, and that location is Charleston, South Carolina. The trip sponsors are Chris Hutchins and Kenneth DeLee. There are 40 students attending and 4 adults.
Madam Chair, if there's no objection from anyone on the board, I would like to make a motion that we approve both of these, Trip 4386 and Trip 4393.
Second.
We have a motion and a second that we approve both of those field trips that have been documented in advance, and Superintendent Williams has reviewed. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving those overnight field trips, please show your right hand. Unanimous. Ms. Williams, we move forward with the HR report for November?
Yes, at this time we ask Ms. Hamilton to come up.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Just as a point of reiteration, we were in open enrollment in October, and so our employees had an opportunity to change their benefit packages if they needed to, or add anything that they wanted to. In addition to that, the Colleton County School District will be transitioning to Red Rover effective November 21st. So invitations should be sent out sometime this week. And that is for absence management, so we will be phasing it. We will begin with absence management, and then we will transition to time management. And that is all that I have. Any questions, I'll be happy to answer those.
Ms. Hamilton, just very quickly, when we go into the time management piece, will that be for every employee, or is that just for certified, just for classified? Who is that for?
So I can answer it. So we will start with our with our classified, just as we're doing now, and we will phase in everybody. So it will start with who is utilizing it now, and then we will phase everybody in.
So what is that time frame to have everybody on board with that?
We have not set that time. I've had conversations with the finance department concerning this, but we want to make sure that it is operating correctly and we have a good feel for how the system works, and we're looking at that first, and then we'll make a decision as to when we will have everyone come into the system.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hamilton. Ms. Williams, next on your report, under Superintendent's report, is the finance report.
Yes, I call Ms. Barrett, if you would come up with your updates.
Good evening, board members, and to the audience. You have my report. I have nothing else to add, but I just want to let you know that the finance department has completed our audit, and we're hoping to get our audit report hopefully next month. And also to let you know that for our federal audits, we are having a little, well, it's delayed because the OEMB, which the Office of Federal Programs, have not in Washington, D.C., has not released our compliance supplement yet. So that's may hold us up as far as our federal audits, but we're still watching that, and our auditors are watching that too, to see when the federal government is going to release those new standards for us for our federal audits.
Thank you, Ms. Barrett. Any questions, board members, from the reports we received?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Williams, items 9.05 is a procurement review panel that you've mentioned to us in agenda prep, as well as in our Friday board briefs. Board members have Ms. Williams review that with us, and I did ask her to provide a handout for board members that might still have questions, this is something that is in our policy already that we need to have in place, and she's bringing this to our attention and giving us the recommendation for one board member. If we do need a procurement review panel, one board member, and then there will be some community members added to that committee to make up a committee of 5. So, Ms. Williams, anything else you want to add to that other than what you'd had in your Friday board brief?
Yes, sure. I just wanted to just make sure everybody understands the purpose of the panel, like you stated. And I've placed it in the board brief, I think the past 2 board briefs, and we're required to create that procurement review panel in the event an appeal occurs. So tonight, I'm asking you to nominate or appoint a chairperson from the board, and the chairperson of the procurement panel would then elect additional members according to Section 4410 of the South Carolina Procurement Code that we have adopted. So after you elect or appoint the chairperson, then the procurement panel will consist of one board member appointed by the board. It will also consist of 4 community members that are appointed by the board, the chair of the procurement panel, the vice chair, the superintendent, and the chief finance officer. And then these members serve for a 1-year term. However, they can be reappointed for another term as well. So tonight, I'm asking that you approve one board member as the chair of the procurement review panel.
Madam Chair, at this time, I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Mr. Craig Stivender for the procurement review panel as needed.
Second. There's a motion and a second, and I'll open the floor for discussion. I had a question, Allison, if you're listening, or Superintendent Williams or Dr. Bagley. It says the term is July 1 to June 30th, and I know we need to get this set up, so we'll be following policy, but I wonder in the future, is it possible we could set it up with the same rotation we have for officers, which is November to November? But you can get back to me, but that's a question I have during discussion.
That would be up to you for your policy, but your policy says July 1 to June 30th.
Okay, so this could be back to our policy committee, so it would be succinct with our officer changes?
Yes, it could
okay.
be, yes.
But for clarification, though, this is from the state procurement code, and we, by policy, conform to the state procurement code. So can we make modifications?
You can make modifications to a term like this. I would recommend keeping it July 1st to June 30th, but this is something the policy committee could consider, because you think of procurement in terms of yearly budgets, which is June 1st to June 30th.
Okay. Any other discussion, board members? The floor is open.
Another question, Madam Chair. It says the 4 community members will be appointed respectively by, it states the board chair as opposed to the panel chair.
Yeah.
So it will be the board chair.
It's the panel chair it's the board chair, so the board chair.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The board chair?
Yeah, the board chair is how I interpreted it. So the sitting board chair would make a recommendation, the vice chair, and then the superintendent and the chief business officer. So we would have 5 members total. Any other questions?
Yeah, what would that panel do so far as operations?
So if there are any appeals to any procurement matters that we go through, with RFPs and different things of that nature, if there are any appeals, then this panel would meet and discuss to try to resolve whatever issues at hand. So that's the only time the procurement panel would be initiated, is if there were any disputes about any procurement issues.
Does it come back to the board, like the policy committee makes decisions and recommendations back to the board, or does that panel decide? The
panel's decision is final, and then it does not go back to the board. It goes to the administrative the South Carolina Court of Appeals for administrative purposes if appealed further.
Okay. All right, well, thank you for making us aware, Superintendent Williams, that this is something that we could have in place if needed. It's good to have it in place. Is there any other discussion, board members, about the establishment of a procurement review panel? Hearing none, we did have a motion and a second, so I'll call for the vote. If there's no other discussion, all those in favor of Trustee Irwin being...
Nope.
Trustee Stavanger, thank you. The motion was made, you got it correct, by Trustee Wicken and the second by Trustee Irwin. Is there, I'll call for the vote for all those in favor of Trustee. You want to ask if there are any other nominations?
No, I want to ask one other question.
Okay.
If the board chair is nominating that person, or he's not nominating the person that's on the board?
No, the board chair.
Okay, so you are nominating a board member to be the chair of this committee, and then the other 4 people are nominated by the 4 people listed, which is the board chair, the board vice chair, superintendent, and CFO.
Gotcha. All right.
But that person who is nominated by the board to be the board member on the board is not the one who nominates a second person to be on there.
Thank you for clarifying.
And for reiteration, this is only in the time of an appeal, so the elements are in place if necessary, but it hasn't been presented as an issue before. This is a just-in-case situation.
Yes, a safety net, thank you, as often as necessary to resolve procurement controversies promptly. So we have a motion and a second that Trustee Stavanger be our trustee that would serve as the chair for this board. The term is July 1 through July 30th, as is stated here. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of that motion, please show your right hand. Any opposed? Unanimous. Thank you. So we can get that policy in place, Superintendent Williams, with the other members, however we need to help you as board officers. Thank you. So board members, we'll now move into section 10. Our core purpose is teaching and learning, and academics and student affairs is next on our list, and we welcome Dr. Cordelia Jenkins and any information she wants to provide us for our November meeting.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Madam Chair, as you mentioned, from academics and student affairs, we continue to keep teaching and learning a priority. And this afternoon, you have a copy of my report. However, I would like to highlight the transformational coach support slide. After talking with our transformational coach last week, as federal and state designations are being released, she understands that she may be reassigned in the near future. However, she continues to work and support our school and district leaders. And she will be reassigned because Colleton County School District continues to make adequate student progress. This afternoon, I would like to call forward Colleton County High School. They will present the fall 2025 Benchmark 1 data. We have here this afternoon Mr. Kubik. He will come before you in his own special way. Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Chair, board members.
Thank you.
I am not Ms. Bodison. However, she did have to attend a church service this evening, so she's asked me to present her data. Clicker. And I hit the wrong one.
That's all right.
There we go. Got it now. All right, so what she wanted me to point out was that if you'll notice on the dates where it says delayed due to class link, those, they were having some issues. Those ended up being, I think it was September 29th and September 30th. And recently completed to benchmark 2. They're still gathering that information. U.S. history did, however, get done at the end of October. And they've got another benchmark on U.S. history coming in a few weeks. As you can see, the percent proficient, percent passing, percent correct has increased from the same benchmarks last year to this year significantly for Biology 1. Yes, ma'am.
Pardon me, I'm just trying to follow the information, and I'm sorry to interrupt. But if the benchmark dates were delayed due to class link, I'm confused as to how we're using fall 2025 benchmark 1 when it was delayed due to class link. So
It was finished at the end of October.
Okay, so we completed benchmark 1 testing end of October and then tested again November 10th?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that the information?
I believe I've got those dates right.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, but they just recently finished the second set of benchmarks.
But we received that data at the end of October, we didn't test in October and again
Correct.
2 weeks later. Okay.
Right, yes.
Thank you very much. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
Yes.
For that disruption.
Let's see, I did the Biology 1. English 2, you can see a similar increase over last year's benchmark 1. Percent proficient, percent passing, and percent correct, all improvements. U.S. history, now this is where she had told me that there was a little difference, being that not only do they have semester benchmarks, but they have a year-long U.S. history class that has not gone through benchmark testing yet. So that data would be done. I'm not sure, I don't remember the exact dates that she gave me on that one, but that would change the data significantly there. But you can see that it is still an improvement over last year from what some of the data that has been provided as far as percent proficient as well as percent correct. And the actions that they're taking currently, they are, from the way she described it, is they are running the courses that are prior to the EOCs, a student would take prior to taking an EOC class. So, for example, EOC English 2, in English 1, they are running through them sample test, similar to improving student test stamina. So these students are familiar with how these structured tests are, so they're familiar with how a standardized test is conducted. So that way, when the students are moving into those EOC programs, they're better prepared to take those tests. But they're running these foundational courses, English 1, geometry, integrated science for the Biology 1, and modern world history for the U.S. history, to get the students used to taking those advanced structured tests. As well as she's got a notation on there for U.S. history year-long. This is what I was talking about, where they're doing the year-long class and they have not benchmark tested those students yet. And I believe that's the last slide. If there are any questions that I can direct to Ms. Bodison, I'm willing to have them written down and recorded for her to answer at a later date.
Madam Chair, if I may ask a question about the U.S. history class that is now 1 year long. Is that a trial to see?
It is a trial, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so how many, the question that I have is how many of our classes currently are being taught by semester, and compared to the one, the control that is testing to see if the one year is, and I think we just need regular updates on that as a board. I know that that's an experimental decision, and I'm excited to hear about the ability of our instructional staff to try new things, and so just to find out that comparison, the number of semester compared to the 1 year long, and how that's what students are determined for that subgroup.
I'll pass it on.
Mr. Kubik and Superintendent Williams, when Mr. Nixon and I toured on Friday, Ms. Williams, Ms. Bodison was able to give us, a overview of everything. She had a nice rubric of how the report card is, spread out for high school, and I found it to be interesting because she, could show, like Ms. Williams was alluding to earlier, they know where all the points are coming from. So it might be helpful if other board members would be able to see that, because it was eye-opening, that some of the EOCs are weighted heavier than some of the others. It's not just all the same. The English and math are rated higher than the others. other two.
It is the
So-
same way, you get different points for each level,
Yes.
but is even within, there are subcategories, because I know from the college and career readiness aspect, there are different points based on criteria such as certifications, work-based learning. So there are a lot of moving parts that go into those scores.
Yes, I was interested, and I thought other board members that didn't get the tour that day might be interested, if she could provide that to Superintendent Williams in a Friday brief or at another time that is appropriate. It was eye-opening to see. And Mr. Nix, anything else that you thought of?
No, as far as the U.S. history, and I just wonder if we need to institute civics back into our classes, because our children don't know a lot about U.S. history because they are not learning about civics. And so is that something that has been considered by the people dealing with our academic challenges?
From a parent perspective, I know that class is now human geography given to freshmen.
Human
Not to-
geography.
They don't, yeah, I know, it's a very strange name. It's somebody, I promise you. But that is what's being replaced with civics.
Well, that might be something they could explore in the history department. And also, we were able to visit the wonderful wellness room she has in a space now for her staff to work collaboratively with the instructional coaches. I was glad to see sort of a back hall that was an art hall, and sort of a hidden hall is now an adult hall. And it was very welcoming to see the high school set up more like the elementary, that they can work together. And she mentioned, you made me think of that, prerequisite courses. Those teachers are getting together. So not just those benchmark course teachers, but those prerequisites building up are meeting collaboratively and doing stronger professional learning together. So hats off. I could see the wheels turning on, working with the teachers, and it was very rewarding to visit the building. So those of you that weren't able to tour, I thought I'd highlight that. So thank you, Mr. Kubik.
Thank you.
I know Ms. Bodison's having a great time over hearing her brother bring the message tonight, so glad she could be there.
And one other thing, Madam Chair, if I may, Mr. Kubik, please take back to Ms. Bodison that, again, I want to say publicly how much I appreciate her climate there, because we're walking through and this young lady came up to her and she spoke to her and she said, "You're looking lovely today, except you dress so nicely, except for the fact that you're not wearing your badge." And the young lady was like, "Oh, that's right, I'm supposed to do that." And that's how you have positive reinforcement in correcting wrong thinking. So I applaud her for that, too.
Yes, and as we walked through the whole building up and down the steps with Ms. Hedden, we were just amazed there weren't kids in the hallway, and we visited classrooms where some of our English as a second language, as well as our students taking blood pressure and getting ready for their certified nursing. So we saw all hands on deck and students actively learning.
If I may too, also just add, I had a lot of questions about the specific area and actually asked for the information. Appreciate the information Mr. Kubik was able to share with the board from the high school. But, the intent and purpose is just to understand and to know and to provide as much support to our secondary learners as possible. So thank you for the presentation.
Yes, and we only highlighted the high school, but Ms. Williams, thank you for the tour and organizing that for those of us that were able to go to the schools. We all shared with each other what a great experience it was to see the students and teachers in their element. Any other board members for the tours? Thank you. Anything else?
No, ma'am. Thank you for your noticings from the tours and your questions. We'll make sure Principal Bodison is aware of your questions, and we'll provide you with feedback.
Thank you. Thank you.
We make sure your questions are answered.
Yes. Board members, anything else? Because they'll be taking those exams before Christmas.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. We move on to item number 11, our operational management section, because we know a safe, secure, and positive environment will be conducive for teaching and learning. I wanted to shout out when we visited Cottageville how clean things were, and they said they were down some staff members in that department, but others were chipping in and helping. So we were very, very proud of that climate as we toured, and I didn't get to go to all schools, so others of you Hendersonville yesterday when we were touring was very, very well kept. Ms. Williams, operational report?
Yes, for our operations report, you have a copy of all of the divisions within the operational department, but I would like to call on Mr. Justin Simpson to give you an update from the Buildings and Grounds Department, and then we do have a recommendation that I would like to bring forward.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. Just to update the board, I have some great news. The roofing project is almost 100% complete. We did the substantial walkthrough today with our architect, our roofing consultant, and the roofing contractor. So next steps is there was some minor things that they need to correct, and after that is complete, and then we were 100% good with them, and then the warranty will start once the architect signs off and releases that project over to the district.
Thank you, Mrs. Simpson. If we could just catch up our slides with the presentation, we're on operation now. Okay, whoever needs to click, thank you.
Some other topics is the generators have been serviced district-wide, and we are in the final steps with Department of Environmental Services. That project has been referred to a different division for some review. Some capital project updates that we currently have completed. We have completed the one project at the high school boiler. We have other projects that are currently in process. I know whenever we talked at the last capital projects meeting, we wanted to see some dates associated with them. So as soon as projects get moving, it does take time for materials to come in before we can start with those. So we're right there to start a lot of these projects moving forward. A lot of these HVAC things have long lead times, such as anywhere from 12 to 14 weeks. So that's why there's such a delay in getting some of these things accomplished. But we're moving forward. We're getting a lot done, which is fantastic, and we look forward to getting even more done.
Okay, are there any questions for Mr. Simpson before I move forward with our recommendation? Okay, so as you may recall, our last capital projects work session was held on October 28th, 2025, and at that time, Mr. Simpson presented a new process of looking at our capital project needs. This process involves using a systems approach for determining projects, estimated costs, timely awarding of bids or quotes that do not exceed the amount approved by the board. This allows for projects to move more quickly and more efficiently. So I also want to, before I ask for your approval, I want to also emphasize what a capital improvement plan is. So a capital improvement plan is a long-term strategic plan that guides how the school district prioritizes, plans, and funds infrastructure projects over the next 1 to 10 years. This plan enables organizations like our school district to make informed decisions about investments, ensuring that assets remain functional, safe, and valuable while effectively managing future operational and maintenance costs. So our discussions and process changes are leading the district in the right direction to that end. And this new process was presented by Mr. Simpson several weeks ago during our capital projects meeting, and I'm going to now ask Mr. Simpson to come and just present to you what those current projects are that require approval. And you should have in your folder a sheet that outlines those new requests. Okay, Mr. Simpson.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. On behalf of Mrs. Williams and the administration, we would like to recommend the following funding for the projects listed before you, before the board for approval this evening. Those projects would be a area hub contract that is district-wide mapping, district-wide lighting, repair and maintenance, district-wide roof repairs, district-wide HVAC repairs and replacements, district-wide fencing repairs and replacements, district-wide fire alarm repairs and replacements, and district-wide door and hardware assessment repairs and replacements. I will entertain any questions that any of you have in regards to the proposal before you.
Mr. Simpson, does the district-wide lighting repairs and replacements include the Performing Arts Center?
Yes, sir, it does, along with past funding that was approved by the board.
So all of the lighting will be taken care of in the Performing Arts Center under this?
I cannot guarantee that it will all be taken care of because I don't have a 100% accurate reflection of what we will move forward with. I have several meetings coming up and also with our architect Mosley to review that. We have gone sort of round and round in what direction we want to go to. I've used the information that was provided from previous administrators in my position, and I've reached out to those vendors, and we keep running into the same roadblocks. That's why we're taking the next step and bringing Mosley in to sort of help us and assist with the correct direction, and also looking at what we can do now, if there is anything that we can do to bring that back to where it was 10 years ago whenever the building was built. So we're still exploring that, so I can't 100% guarantee that will cover that, and that's why it's do not exceed, and therefore if we go over that, we would have to come back for the board in regards to that project.
If I can follow up with that, thank you. I'm understanding you're digging into that to figure out what we can do to get that Performing Arts Center up to par. Thank you. That is a building, we use for our community,
Right.
such as the funerals and upcoming events, such as our celebration on December 16th. My question would be if we know the PAC's a priority, but we're not sure if that's going to be enough, will we start using that 100,000 towards other things, and then we won't have enough for the PAC for sure?
We will use that for other projects. There are current other projects within the district that do need some lighting, just like our elementary school multi-purpose rooms. If any of you toured, some of them have multiple lights out. So we are going to address that out of this funding, but it's hard to tell where the PAC lighting is going to end up. We do have money already set aside in the previous budgets. I just can't give you an accurate reflection of where we're going to fall.
Other questions, board members?
Additionally, excuse me, Madam Chair, I'm looking at the roof repairs. Now, this is after the repairs we've already put in place.
That is correct.
Okay, this is maintenance, basically.
Right,
Okay.
yes.
Mr. Simpson, I think I asked you this question before. I just want clarification purposes. These projects, will these be projects that we will hire out to do, or will these projects be projects that our employees will complete?
It will be a combination of both, internal and external.
Okay. I still have some concerns about that. As I look through some of the projects that we're issuing POs for, I know we have employees who are hired for carpentry work and also heating and air, and we're issuing POs for things such as mini splits. Now, those are things we've done in the past in-house. I just want to make sure we're still doing as much as possible in-house before we put these projects out at a more costly expense.
Yes, and we do evaluate every project to see whether it does need to be, outsourced or whether we can do it internally. So we will continue to do that process moving forward. That way we're spending the money wisely.
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
I got a question, Mr. Simpson.
Yes.
I don't know if you can get to it now, maybe down the road, you can look at it. The parking lot on the side of, the student parking lot on the side of the Fine Art Building, if there any way that we can maybe get some cameras, because got some concerns of kids' cars are getting scratched or damaged, you know, and they have no way of knowing who's doing it. And I think it's something that we need to kind of see what we can do, maybe get a camera on the side of the wall or something.
Okay, yes, I will.
If you don't mind, just when in your spare time to kind of look at it.
Yes.
Because a lot of kids or cars are getting something done to it.
Yes,
unnecessary.
I'll work in conjunction with our IT department to make sure that we can address those needs.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Roman. And board members, as we're looking over this proposal, what Superintendent Williams would like us to do once we get our questions answered, if we're at the place of taking action to approve. So are there any other questions you have as you look over the items that, you know, they are targeting here for an amount not to exceed?
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we adopt this proposal by the superintendent and Mr. Simpson.
Madam Chair, I'll second.
We have a motion and a second, and now we will consider other questions. Are there other questions, board members, about these items? I'd like to ask where it lists the district-wide fire alarm systems repair. Just refresh my memory, because I know we have Bells and Northside, unless those things have been resolved and the money's allocated for the fire watch. So just refresh my memory before we vote. Will those be taken care of separate from this, or this is included in this amount?
No, Bells was already, or I'm sorry, Northside was already approved, so the PO was already released for that. Bells was used out of already reallocated funds from previous bonds. That's how we were able to take care of that. That was more of a communication issue. We've solved that. So the building is no longer on fire watch.
Okay.
There's just a missing piece between the fire alarm panel itself and the monitoring service that we're working through right now.
So it works when they do a fire drill?
Yes.
Okay. And Northside will be completed when?
I don't have a timeline. We are getting ready to we are waiting for the drawings to come back before they can be released to the Office of State Fire Marshal to be reviewed. The drawings have already been released to the Office of State Fire Marshal for the TCTC project. So that one's already going, because that one was a little easier because they were already done. With Northside, we're pretty much starting from scratch from the old drawings.
Okay.
So that one's taking a little bit longer, but we're almost there.
Yes. I just want to state publicly, having been a principal, and we all want our children and principals and everyone, staff, to be safe, I just want a sense of urgency, Superintendent Williams, that the principal and that staff is not continuing to have to do that walk every week, every hour, and that, you know, I know it might be out of our control to push whoever's got approved, but for me, I want Ms. Behe and her staff to know the fire alarm works. And I think it's our responsibility as a board and a district, not hers as a principal. That's me. She has to be there for the teaching and learning and a lot of other things. So if we're going to continue to require her to do that, can we get other people to support? But, you know, that's your management. But I just have a feeling that we need to, you know, support them as best we can in getting that done. So I'm glad to know it's not a money issue. Other questions I have before we vote. When we fix the fences, the extra money that we're needing for fences, is that raising like the height of some of them from like a 4-foot to a 6-foot? Or where are we fixing all of this
It
fence?
very well could be. At first, what we would do is we want to address the security gates at the high school. That funding was already approved by the board for additional. So once we address those issues, then we can move on to fixing any broken or damaged gates, any other fencing throughout the district that is broken. And then if there's any extra funding, we will look at, just like you said, of raising anything around playgrounds or anything that we need to do to more secure our buildings for any playground situations like that.
Okay, and my final question goes back to Mr. Stavanger was asking about, are we using our current staff? It says we're going to repair and replace our doors, and I know at the middle school there's great needs, there might be others, but it says assessment. So what are we paying for? Do we have to pay someone to tell us to fix doors, or we have some staff people that can tell us that?
No, so we're working with a company called Assa Abloy. If you actually look real close throughout some of our district buildings, the hardware is actually stamped Assa Abloy. So they are a free service that is provided to us. That assessment is just listing actually what we're doing. So the assessment would be to go out to upgrade or go through and do any either access control, new fire doors that would be required to be replaced or repaired. So that's what that assessment piece is there. It's not necessarily a funding piece, but that's what we would do under that district-wide door and hardware scope.
So it's free. And do we have a priority of which schools are going to get the doors? I mean, how do you decide who's getting what?
It will be a combination of what we can afford right now and what actually we need to fix. There's some immediate needs that we need at the middle school, some broken hallway doors, some things like that we actually have a bid out for right now. So as soon as we can come in, we can get those addressed, and then we would move on to our next level, and that'll be more driven to any hardware, such as door closers, any access control issues that we're currently having. That's what that funding there would be for. So we would address any immediate safety needs that we need to first, and then we would jump down to any other issues such as hardware or rekeying projects or anything like that based on available funding.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? We have a motion and a second, and this is time for discussion before I call for the vote.
What's the grand total on this project?
That's listed here, all the funding.
Mm-hmm.
It's roughly 1.1 million.
Okay.
Any other questions? Hearing none, we have a motion and a second for what's presented before you, what we heard at our capital project work session. Thank you, Mr. Simpson, Ms. Williams, and for your work on this proposal. And I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of the affirmative motion that was made, a motion and a second, please show your right hand. All those opposed? The ayes have it. Moving on to our item number 12, consideration for board members. We don't need anyone to attend electronically, so we can go to item number 13. At this point, we're needing to go into executive session, not very long, hopefully, for the discussion of employment matters, student release or admittance, and discussion and receipt of legal advice we might need on property, contractual, safety, and security matters. So I'll entertain a motion to enter executive session for just those three items.
Madam Chair, I move we go into executive session to discuss items 1301, 1302, 1303.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. We should not hopefully be long for those three topics. All those in favor of moving into executive session, please show your right hand. Unanimous. Thank you for being here. board members, I'll entertain a motion that we enter back into open session.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we enter back into open session.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor of moving back into open session, please show your right hand. Unanimous. We're back in open session. Board members, there were a couple of items that we needed to take action. I'll entertain a motion under discussion of employment matters.
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the proposed professional staff position number 1.
Second.
There was a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing no, all those in favor of the motion, please show your right hand. Unanimous.
Madam
Go ahead.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we accept the student release 1 and 2.
Second.
There's a motion and a second for discussion we had about release of 2 students. And is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the release of the 2 students, please show your right hand. Unanimous. Board members, at this time, I will turn the gavel over to our superintendent. And we're at the process for our November meeting, according to our policy, that we have election of officers. Thank you,
All right,
Superintendent Williams.
Thank you, Chair Strobel. We're going to open the nominations now for our chair of our school board. So at this time, I'm going to ask if we have any nominations for chairperson of the Colleton County School Board.
I'd like to make a motion, that we keep Chair Strobel as our chair for this continuing year.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we elect Glenn Nixon as chair.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? We have Ms. Strobel, and we also have Mr. Glenn Nixon. All right. We need to move that our nominations come to a close.
You need that as a motion?
Yes.
Madam Superintendent, I make a motion that we close the nominations for chairperson.
Okay, thank you. And now we're going to vote. Is there any discussion before we vote?
I second that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. All right. It's been properly moved and second. And now we are going to vote. We always start with the last first, the last that was nominated. So Mr. Nixon was nominated. So all in favor?
We have to vote for the closer. Is that correct?
Yeah, but I got a question, a discussion I want to.
Okay.
We had voted to not have someone do 2 terms in a row, so that's why we was electing another person.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Murdaugh. Any other discussion?
Policy doesn't limit the number of years of service. Is that, is there discrepancy in the policy? I just wanted to make sure that if that was made clear, that there's no.
We had it for 2 years, and you voted not to do that. It was voted in here not to do 2 years in a row. Now, that was voted on.
Right.
Okay? All right. That's what I'm saying.
It was voted not to have the chairman automatically for 2 years in a row. Nowhere was it ever said that the current chairman couldn't serve again.
Call for the vote.
Ms. Hannah, is there any discrepancy or explanation that might help with that policy, just since?
Just go ahead and call for the vote.
Your policy does not limit somebody to 1 year. It actually says officers may succeed themselves in the same office.
Okay. All right. So I think there was a second to close the nominations, and now we need to vote to close the nominations. So can I hear a vote to close the nominations on the said 2 names? All in favor? All opposed? All right, it has been voted unanimously to close the nominations. And now we start with the last first. So all in favor of Mr. Glenn Nixon as the chair, please show by raising your hands. See, 4. Okay. All in favor of Mrs. Strobel for chairperson, please raise your hand. 2. All All right, so our new chairperson will be Mr. Glenn Nixon. Okay, congratulations, Mr. Nixon, on your new appointment. And now, we're going to pass the gavel to Mr. Nixon.
Well, first, let me say thank you for the honor of serving. And now I'd like to ask, are there any nominations for the role of vice chair?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to nominate Roman Cunningham for vice chair.
Any other nomination?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to nominate Lynn Strobel as vice chair.
Any other nomination? Hearing none, do I have a motion that the nominations be closed?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we close the nominations for vice chair.
Second.
It has been moved and properly second that we close the nominations for vice chair. All in favor? Opposed? It passes unanimously. All right, so first is last, so last goes first. Those in favor of Lynn Strobel as the vice chair of the board, please raise your hand. 3. Those in favor of Roman Cunningham, raise your hand. You don't get to vote? I say, Ms. Strobel, you did not vote. Any abstentions? Okay, so we have tie. So how do we break the tie?
Ms. Hannah, are you with us?
I'm with you, and
We had one abstain.
I'm going to have to look it up because an abstention is considered a no vote, basically.
But this isn't a yes or no, this is an either or.
This is not a yes or a no, and so I think you're going to have another vote.
We have to have another vote? Okay. Having found no solution in a tie, let us try again. Those in favor of Lynn Strobel as vice chair, please show the positive sign, raising your right hand. Okay, so that is 4. And for Roman Cunningham, raise your hand. That is 3. So it passes that Lynn Strobel will be our vice chair. Congratulations. Our next officer is the secretary of the board. Any nominations for that particular role?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to nominate Robin Cunningham for secretary.
Decline.
Okay, any other nominations as secretary?
I nominate Charles Murdoch.
Decline.
Any other nominations? In this situation, what do we do? Appoint someone?
Will that be the next meeting because of the secretary, or does it have to be done tonight?
The secretary doesn't have to be done tonight?
No, that was a question.
Oh, yes, Allison, question.
What's the question?
If no one accepts the nomination for secretary, how do we go about selecting the secretary for the board?
Is there no one on the board willing to accept the nomination? I mean, I guess if not, you would hold off. And I'm having an issue here because when I'm watching the computer and listening on the phone, there is a delay, so I couldn't tell what happened on the vice chair.
We had 2 nominations and both declined.
No, vice chair.
I mean, for secretary.
She said she didn't know what happened for vice chair because
the vice chair, Lynn Strobel.
Okay. So there was a second vote. That's the part I couldn't hear. So she's chair. Now you're doing secretary. I mean, I guess if no one accepts the nomination, you hold it to a next meeting, if that's what just happened.
Okay. That being the case, we will table this till the next meeting. Now, I need people who are willing to be on the policy committee. Any volunteers?
Mr. Chairman, I volunteer to serve on the Policy Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I volunteer to serve on the Policy Committee.
Okay, that's two. Do we have a third person? Okay.
You can take two. You do not have to have three. The policy committee is appointed by the chair, so with volunteers.
All right, so now we have as members of the committee, Ms. Wicken and Mr. Irwin. All right. Any other business that we need to take care of as far as votes?
And can we leave it open that we do have a policy committee seat if someone decides they want at the December meeting to get that seat filled? Just so if somebody's not there, we can have a committee meeting, with two, so it's good to have three. And can we leave it that we have a secretary's position open? That's another officer position that would serve with preparing the agenda, and if the chair or vice chair couldn't be there, they would run our meeting, is why we have that in our policy, to have a third officer.
Okay.
Yes, you can legally. That would be yes.
All right, well, we will handle the rest of those matters then at our next meeting. Any other business for the good of our community?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we adjourn.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we adjourn the meeting. All those in favor? I'm sorry, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, positive sign. Thank you, meeting adjourned.
Thank you. Thank you, Allison.
Thank you. I'm here to help you.